So I picked this go-kart up at Southern Auto Auction, probably been at least 4 years. I wasn't there to buy anything but motorcycles, and they had 4 of these. So I just thought it was the coolest thing because I've got a thing for the lime green and 2 kids, 2 boys, so I figured they'd appreciate it, and ended up buying the thing and paid way too much for it because people were bidding on all of these things. But apparently it's from an amusement park that closed, and somehow some auto dealer got them and was selling them at the auction.
Did they have a whole bunch of them at the time?
4 of them.
Yeah.
4 of them. And like I said, lime green, it's my thing. And of course, I'm a Honda guy, so having a Honda engine is just all the rage for me because...
How many horses is it?
I don't even, probably 5.5, whatever they are.
Yeah, it's probably governed down. You probably gonna check out the drive on the thing too. It's got a cog belt, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And I've never, it sits all winter. I've never really, drained it or anything, and it fires usually up second or third pole because it's a Honda.
Huh.
Huge gas tank. It's commercial grade.
Yeah, it's meant to kind of like just sit there and idle all day, and the next group of kids hop on and go have some fun.
Yep. And what's really cool is my son's always been too short to make it, to drive these by himself. So I got one, and he's able to drive it by himself. Now he's old enough. He's over the 48-inch mark. But I just think, it's just the coolest thing. It's got a little bit of patina, a little bit of wear.
Yeah. You don't know what park it was from or anything, do you?
I don't. I'm sure we could dig a little deeper.
But so you bought it local, so it'd be one that's probably from around here?
It's more than likely New England.
Okay.
And that's the company that makes them, and they sell endless amount of parts for these things still. These haven't changed much, really.
No, I brought it up. I see, yeah, they're still pretty much making the exact same.
Yep, they've changed the body, and then of course they've gone into electric now. We went to Chuckster's, and they had them up there, same kind of car, but electric. I'm sorry, I just like the gasoline engine way better.
It's got to make noise.
Yeah, it's got to smell. You got to have that.
Would it have like a roll bar or something on it, or
it didn't.
Whip antennas?
I actually, this is what holds the body on.
Okay.
So, I don't know, I was playing around with it, probably was going to take the body off.
If I loosen those 2 up, does it flip up on a hinge, or you take the whole thing off?
The whole thing comes off. I believe it's these 2, and then I believe you can see it right here, there's a couple under here that hold it on, but the whole thing comes off in one piece.
Okay, awesome.
It's pretty darn neat. I hate to see the thing go. It just takes up so much space.
It'll live again.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, man, thanks, appreciate it. And we're back at the garage. Getting this on the truck, you would think wouldn't be that difficult. This thing weighs a ton, and it has about a good inch of ground clearance. So you try getting it up a set of ramps, and the tires come off the ground fairly quickly, and you end up just dragging it up the ramps. So we tried getting it on forward first, but the overhang on the front was even worse than backwards, so we backed it into the truck. Fortunately, on this end, we have a forklift to get it off. So let's get this off of the truck, and we'll give it a once over, maybe take the body off, get it running, that kind of thing, and see what we have. I have a feeling this is built like a tank. Actually, I know it's built like a tank just by the sheer mass of it. Make it the width of the tires. You just roll it on instead of trying to pick it up by the chassis. You good on that side? Perfect. I'd really like to get the body off of this thing because I really want to see how it's constructed. And those two we know have to come off. It looks like 2 on each side screws. I don't know if there's anything in the front. It's like the shell is broke right there. I do see some square tubing with a set screw in the middle of it. That may or may not, that might just be sitting on there, I'm not sure. I would say that's just sitting there. I would say they're not doing much either. Yeah, just start bolting stuff and see what happens. I'm really curious to see how the drivetrain is put together. We get some hardware out and let's crack this puppy open. Actually, it just has like rubber pull down straps. I don't know if you can see it in there. That kind of like a Jeep hood. There you go. That loosens that up. Don't know if the so 2 mounts in the back. I don't know if the seat back has to come off. I noticed it's got a brake in it. Actually, that one's not going to come off at all because somebody welded it. One way or another, it's coming off though. See how well this works, or not. Try to take the body off by myself, but it wasn't happening. Run out of room soon. Whee! So we can get back on with the forklift. And we'll set the body down on that and get it out of our way. We're in, kinda. All right, we got the body off. Now you can see what we have to work with. Not sure what's going on inside that trans, if that's got a CVT setup or gear reduction or what that is in there. Maybe just a wet clutch. That's probably what it may be. Doesn't look like there's enough room in there for a CVT, but you never know. Dual brake calipers. I think it's a live axle though. I don't think it's divided. Yeah, it's a live axle. So maybe just not enough braking power, so they doubled up. And they're juice, they're hydraulic. Little bleeder up here. Bleeder, bleeder. Heavy axle, nice size axle on the thing. Looks like it's supported in 3 places, right there. One in the middle, and then the outside edge. And then like cog belt for the drive. That makes it a little, that might make it a little difficult to change some gear ratios. But I may have a way around that too. But I got a big ass fuel tank because this thing just sat there and ran all day long. Throttle rod going back. The gas pedal. Goes up and over. Works this lever. Not very much throttle, so that's no gas, and that's gas. That's how much is moving the throttle. This thing must have been a dog. Because that's full throttle. That's how much throttle they're giving you. Holy. Yeah, probably meant to run at like 7 miles an hour. That's probably about 20. That's probably wide open. Looks like we can adjust that. Right there, we can turn that out. Give it some more oomph. Back tire's flat. The back tire's not sitting on the rim. You can see it right there. Kind of looks like the same on this one too. Yeah, it's not even on there. Valve stems look like they're kind of facing, like they was driven on flats maybe, and it's hopefully didn't tear the valve stems out of it. We'll put some air in and see how they do. Yeah, here's how the front ones are. That's how they're supposed to be. That must have made it a dog too. Flat tires, no throttle. Got a master cylinder like what a forklift would have in it. This heavy front bumper. Heavy everything. This thing is a tank. Front suspension, hold on. I just noticed something. You notice it? You notice what that is? I'll give you a second. Alright. I'll give you a hint. Drive shaft. It's a universal. Look at it. It's got no cap on there, but that's a universal joint. This is probably the part that bolts to the rear end, and they made spindles out of it. Figured it'd be easy to get parts for. Yeah. It's got universals for a front end. I wonder how they attach the axles to it. Did they just weld into the center of it? Right? Like what would be the output? I know some of them that had the double universals had that knuckle that stuck out of them and attached to them. I don't know if that's it. Huh. Well, definitely saying they're not going to wear out. Need some love. Things are a tad on the rusty side. I can see the clearance it has now. And again, this had a metal cage going around it that he removed. He said that was about 150 pounds worth of weight. What do you want to do? We should probably pull that carb and clean it. Let's go smell the gas, see what we got for fuel. Go off. Oh, it's been a while. It's a good vintage. I'll see if I can point you down there, see if you can see. Oh yeah. It's like water and everything else is kind of mixed in there. I'm peeking through the camera with you. Yeah, we may want to purge all that. It does not smell good. See, the body's been rubbing on it. Looks like for probably pop a little camera down inside there and take a peek what we got. I got that little spy camera. Let's go see what we got. For Earl. Where's the Earl? Down there. We think they would have had a better setup. I wonder if it's all part of the same thing. I wonder if it goes into there or not. Nah, it looks like it's bolted on separate. Looks like it's a kind of a difficult place to get to, though, doesn't it? And fill. I would have thought it would have had a, you know, a big tube coming out with a thing on it. Let's see if we get some air in that thing. Keep the hold. See if it didn't tear up the valve stem. That one sit. Don't hear it leaking. Good. Well, the other one on the other side is good. We'll be able to ride this puppy. And we're on the other side. Let's see if we can get that stem to come at least somewhere in the right direction. It has like an elbow on it. I have a feeling if I screw with it too much, it's probably just going to break. I don't know if I can get air on it though. That's the problem. It's so close to that lug underneath it. Let's give it a shot. Maybe. Yeah. There it goes. Well, I don't hear it pissing out big time. Good. You know it's a thick tire when there's no air in it, but they don't go down at all. That's nothing in it. That tread's probably ½ inch thick. Bet you it makes it ride like a tank. Go pop that air cleaner off. See if we have any critters. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty clean. That's decent. That looks like pretty new, actually. Let's get that air cleaner base out of our way. Maybe not. Noise alert. Except for that one. That one wants to have a little manual pressure put on it. Now you're free. Now I'll hit you with it. Now I'll hit you with the gun. Yeah. A little corrosion there. Yeah, the whole thing should be able to come out of there. I believe. Ugh. Ugh, I say. Mud is coming out of there. Oh, the stink. Oh, the stink. Oh, yeah. She's a gooey. Bet you that float ball is going to be pretty when we take it down. Hey, let's get that float ball off of there. The pet is shut off for the fuel. Oh. Let's see what we get. What vintage? Let's a P for a second. Oh yeah, it's coming out with little chips of stuff. I'll show you in a second. The gas is shut off, I believe. It may not work, but the gas is shut off. That's this valve right here. Try it the other way. Well, sometimes you're 50-50 and you're wrong 100% of the time. Still not stopping though. Nope, now it picked up again. Alright. You ever get the feeling that valve isn't working very well? Alright, let's go get ourselves a pair of needle nose and pinch off the fuel line, because that is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Nope, it stopped on its own. This needed to be moved a couple of times. Not mooned, moved. Let's go see what we have in store. It's like a football. Ready? Coming out. It's pretty cruddy. Seen a lot worse, but it's pretty cruddy. We'll take a peek up there in the jets. We end up just pulling that carburetor right off of it and cleaning it. That float was stuck too. The fuel was never going to shut off on its own when it filled. Seems kind of slow on the return there, doesn't it? Yeah, let's go pull that carburetor off of there. It needs all the love. Show you what came out. It's tad yellow and all that debris. They need to be done. Free-handed in here, but so this is the choke plate. The choke plate moves. Not too bad. Here's the throttle. It's stuck on full throttle. And really hard it's going back. So it has definitely been varnished over. This thing would have run, if it ever got running, it just would have ran full throttle. So yeah, that thing is really gooed up. It definitely needed to come apart. I'm glad we did. Let's go pinch the fuel line off, but it's hard as a rock. So I'm going to purge the fuel tank. It's got to be done anyway, so let's see if we can get. Might have to do that one more time. Yeah, that fuel line is petrified. Let's go see if we can cut that off of there. Whoops. We'll replace that anyway. Try Tyvek. Not Tyvek, Tyvek siding. What's the name of the tubing? The clear. Next thing was coming to mind was Trex, and that's decking. Alright. We should be able to turn that throttle and lift up on it to get it out of there. Just the throttle rod, get the spring, return spring off. We should be able to slide that carb off. I took the governor plate that was sitting up here. It's right here. Took that out of the way off camera. All right, we have our prize. Yeah, that's supposed to spring back on its own, not move like a piece of gum. Let's get it apart and get it soaked. Let's get her apart. Let go. That just pushes her. All right, that's good. Come on out. It's all plastic. Get rid of what's left of that fuel line. It's soft where the fuel wasn't on it. But when the fuel hits it, it goes to the petrified rock. Let's get, we should probably get the, this is like a filter, fuel filter, sediment bowl. See how that plays with us. No filter. So you're just going to call that a sediment ball then. I guess the valve worked eventually. We need to the back of that off. I gotta get some screwdrivers. Got to back that off. There's a jet underneath here, and it probably has a So this is for the air fuel mix for the idle, and it's tabbed off so that it cannot be rotated. So we have to grind off this tab so we can get it unthreaded. Where were we? So that is the stop for the idle speed too. Trying not to lay my hands down on the gas. Hold on. Housekeeping. So this is the idle stop, and it looks like I was pretty much flush with the end of it. We're going to be setting that up again anyway. You can get rid of that, and then just pressed in underneath it is this jet. It's like some O-rings, and that top screw actually just kind of like holds it down. Come on. Should probably be using 2 screwdrivers on it and in a vise. I don't break it. There it goes. And that's got to come out. No one then, and then see if that center will come out for us. I think it went. Sometimes I was just about ready to stop too. Just throw it right in and let it soak, and sometimes it break the varnish off that's holding it. It should be in. It should be in. Almost there. There we go. Let's see. Can we see through that? I'll tell you in a second. It is about 60% blocked. And the emulsion tube, sometimes you can push it out of there, which is, it's going from here to the center of the carb. I want you to see it, a little brassing in the center there. I'm going to try pushing that out. And that could be the same scenario. I am going to leave that alone for now, because sometimes I know when to say when. Look how gummy that choke is. Look at the crap that's on that, like tar. All right, so we have, I think I'm going to leave those seals alone. I'm going to leave those seals alone. I'm going to leave that seal alone. I think I'll do more damage. This one might come off. I'm going to leave that seal alone. Let's get the valve out of it. Of course, I don't have a filter over here. Wait a minute, do I? Now it's the right size. Sorry, JIS. And that just has like a little doorways that open up. Let's see if we can pick that gasket out of there without destroying it. And sometimes you could, if it gets bad, you could rotate it. We are leaving that one alone too. And we still need to get grinding action. Where is it? Where are you hiding? Right there. So that still needs to come out. So they limit how lean or rich you can make it. Actually, how rich is what they're trying to make it so that you do not have for emissions. They run it as lean as possible. Where their opinion is it'll still run good, but as soon as the thing gets a little older, then it doesn't want to idle, runs hot, because it's just a little too on the lean side. So they don't allow you to back this screw out to richen up the mixture at an idle. I'm gonna go grind off that. What happens is they put it to where it is and this gets pressed on, but if you go to pop that off there, it's just gonna break the head off. So I need to do some whittling. We got it. A little more at the top. We're in. I'm going to leave that alone too. And everybody in the pool. And the float floats. Go figure. We give her 20 minutes or so. Still not very hot yet, neither. I just turned it on. Jump around. Jump around. Food's starting to get pretty dirty. What I keep forgetting to do is to let it settle, and you drain off the top. The stuff comes off the top clean, and you get the sludge out of the bottom. But as soon as you turn it on, it kicks it right back up again, as you can tell. Alright, well, that's doing this thing. Maybe we can kind of poke around on some other stuff. You want to look at? Probably concentrate maybe on the engine. Let's go see if it's got spark. I haven't even pulled this thing over yet, so let's go pop that out of there, see what it looks like. Probably wouldn't hurt to dribble a little oil down in there too. So the switch is on. I think that's the only on and off switch. I don't see anything out front. Where's our plug wire? It's right in front of you. Let's go give that a couple of tugs. Oh yeah. Good. I'm going to give it a squirt. A squirt, I say. Actually, you know what I got? I got some of that really heavy premix from the antique outboard. So this stuff's like 12 to 1. We'll let that lubricate the top one. We'll give that a yank or two and see if it'll run and die. Give us a teaser. Should be able to run without the carburetor on there. Usually do. Let me back you up. You good? You're kind of a little bit of a gangster lean to you, but just hold on. Hold on tight. Alright. So get that drain plug out of there. Let me get you on a better light. Hold on. There you go. Got it jacked up too, so it might even just piss right out of it. Just want to get a quick peek on. There you go. It's dirty. Dirty girl. That's right. We want to change the oil at some point. Probably it doesn't look that bad to me. We're gonna run it on it. We'll get it hot and let it circulate around. Then we'll drain it so it picks up all the crap that's sitting. Let's see if we can peek inside this thing and see what it has for whatever clutch setup is in there. Yeah, I know what you're gonna be able to see. Let me get a little closer to that. And turn off my headlight. Can't see much of anything. I can see metal parts in there. I don't know what's it doing, but let's go peek over there. It's like a hammered part of something, huh? I say we leave all that together. It's probably just a wet clutch, wet centrifugal clutch. I don't see anything that looks like a belt that runs from one to the other. Could be though. Because you got to figure it's going from the output of the engine is here and then the output is there. So what is connecting the two of them? What, you know, again, I was thinking it had like maybe a small CVT setup transmission in it, but maybe not. We'll leave that alone unless it's an issue. So I was able to poke back in there a little again, and you look right. I think I got oil on it. Hold on. Yeah, I did. Go down too far, you strike oil. Okay. So you're going a little bit. And if I rotate the tire, you see that going by? I believe that is a chain. Let me see if we can get it better. That. I believe that's chain. And the sprocket in between. You can see the teeth in between. That's what it's got. So the gears in there and then probably a wet clutch. Gears, chain, and a wet clutch. So it's got juice brakes. Wait a minute, it does float, huh? That's not a live axle. I thought it was. It's a one-wheel wonder, looks like. Yeah. Well, that explains it. All right, anyway. Let's go push the brakes. Tubifer. That's the gas pedal. Let's see. What do we get for brakes? I don't think we get anything for brakes. Nothing happens. How about this one? What's the saying? Brakes are for quitters anyway. See if it even has any fluid in it. Oh, we're up front by that brake pedal. I think it's probably stuck. Why would it not move? Let's go pop that cap. Think there's anything in it? Water. Got stuff in it. I don't know if it's good stuff, but there's stuff in it. Let's go stab at it with a screwdriver and see what color comes out. Looks like brake fluid. I have a feeling the piston is stuck though. Let's. What do you think? Some gentle persuasion with a hammer? Yeah, I agree. Do you remember him saying that he said the brakes were stuck on too, and then they freed himself? So kind of would make sense. That's a no. That is rock solid frozen. I'm just trying to see if the pedal itself is hitting anything, you know? Something restricting it. I have a feeling it's one big pile of corrosion. Looks like that is going to need some love. Stuck. See if we can get in there with a little juice. I think my juice can is empty. Oh, it's not all up all the way. That's fine. There we go. I sprayed the hardware for it too. See if we can get it to. Maybe we'll let that sit a little bit. Jump back to the carburetor and deal with the brakes a little bit later. See how we're making out. It's warming up. Let's go. Let's see if that throttle freed up. We'll make that our tail. It's choke. Choke feels a lot better. Throttle is okay. We have that backwards. That is choke. I would say that is playing much better than it was before. And the choke is fine, and the throttle is fine. Awesome. We'll wash those off in a parts washer. We'll clean the other bits and pieces up, put it back together, make brum brum noises. Let's see if we can put this thing back together. Everything's been cleaned and blown out. I'm sure there'll be something that I forgot, but for the most part, that's what it is. Make sure that's down all the way. If it's not down all the way, you won't be able to get it. There it goes. Get that screw in, and that screw again holds that thing down and is the idle speed. So there's double duty, and we want it just to kind of poke through. That's eyeballing. That's about where it was before. Let's go with some jetting that has been cleaned out and reamed out. Let's see if we can get it with the fine screwdriver. Give me the screwdriver back. There you go. This one's a little too fat on the shoulders. There we go. But we got it. Let's go for our air fuel mix for the idle, which is over here on the side. I'm going to run that in until it touches. I'm going to come out about half, one and a half, two, we'll call it there. Start with that. We have our float, which looks like it still has a stain on top. You know what? I am going to take a minute. I'm going to throw this back in the cleaner. I'm going to flip it over. You'll notice that one side is really clean and the other side still has some, like, you know, varnish and stuff on it. It appears to. Not as good as it should be. Yeah, I should have flipped that over earlier. We have the bowl. We can throw the bowl back on. Just going to eyeball that seal real quick. It looks like it's survived. Yeah, we all clean in there. It's decently clean. And we get 10 mil for that. We can do our fuel shutoff, which sits on top. So that is their passage. Again, we're going to leave well enough alone with the gasket part of it. It's a little preload spring that goes on top. Keeps pressure down on it. And there's a little plate with the two screws. Where are you hiding? Oh, you guys got it. Remember how I said everything was supposed to be nice and clean? I lied. We want to go like that. Yeah. And those screws have the dots by them. And those dots tell you that they're not regular Phillips. So we will not use a regular Phillips to tighten them. I think the last thing, we got the lever just sits on there for the choke. We're going to screw this together, put it in the open position, and we're just going to make sure that we can blow through it. It feels a little cocky to me. Yeah, I got something jammed. I think that spring popped up on me. I wonder why it was really gummy getting turned down. Your battery is flashing. Yeah, I think that jumped ship on us when we weren't looking. Is that correct? Did have it backwards. Let's go educate ourselves. It might go that way. Then again, it might not. What do you think? I don't remember. Should be a witness stain on the backside of it, right? I think we had it right the first time. I think it just popped up on us, though. You're gonna... Stepping on each other here. I think we got it. Feels better when it's screwed down anyway. Yeah, that's more like it. Alright. We are just waiting on that float. The choke lever just sits on there. We put that on there, but it's going to fall off on us when we are manipulating it until we turn it over. Alright. Float. And we're done. Alright, now we can finish this up. Yeah, looks a little better. A floaty ball. And I already forgot what position that was facing. You could probably snug that up once we get it back on there. Point it in a direction that we can get to the drain. Now I should be able to blow into this, and the valve was open. What was on? I think that's on. Should be able to blow in this direction and not have any air go through, because the float will be down, closing the needle off. And when I flip the carburetor over, like right now, I should be able to blow through it, as long as the fuel valve is open. Try it like that. I can blow through it and flip it over. I can't blow through it. And I had the valve in the wrong way when I was doing it, so I know the valve works because I couldn't blow through it at all. Alright, let's go put her back on. Yeah, I think the word I was looking for earlier was Tygon. I didn't change that out yet. If we have enough room, I can get it on there, I will. If not, I'll get some more different line. Get in there. I thought there was enough slack to reach. Maybe not. We might be changing it anyway. Yeah, I started jumping ahead. The fuel lines are in place, carbs have been bolted on, linkage is put back on. Basically just undid everything that we did. Throw the ear cleaner. Bracket back in place. Why are you fighting me? Because both of those need to be pointed outward so that they can go through the holes. You try working around a camera, you think it's easy. breather tube back on. Put some fuel in it. These guys over the pond say petrol. And aluminum with like 7 other letters in it. Aluminium, something like that. And we want, that's choke. And the gas, I'm gonna leave the gas off for now. Fill her up, crank her up. All right, shall we? How if I turn the gas on? Let's give it a second for the float bowl to fill up. And I don't know about the idle speed and the air fuel mix. I'll have to go play with that a little. But right now it's on choke. We can grab this for the throttle. We can work the throttle manually. See what happens. He's got a heck of a gear reduction now. You hear it whine, the gear whine. Probably bump down the idle a little too. Get the tires down a little. So see how much the original gas pedal gave it. Not much. Alright. So why does it seem like we got more now than we did? You know what it was? Yeah, that's what it is. So that's how much throttle it's getting now, because before the butterfly was frozen, so that's why when I let off, it was staying there. It was only going from there to there. Now it goes to there, but it still has that much more travel. So that's what it's governed to. Probably about half. Fire it back up. Pull start's not going back in there. Give it some choke. okay. This is about what you expect to go on a track. We want to say that was about, I'd say between 10 and 15 maybe. Alright guys, well at least you got it. So it starts up and runs and does what it's supposed to do. As far as going, stopping is another story. But we'll deal with that probably on another video. We got to get the master cylinder freed up, possibly replaced. And some other things need to be adjusted, you know, slop in the belts and the front end pivot points, and maybe see if we can get that hoop off the back of the seat so that we can unbolt it and take it off to get the body on and off a little bit easier. It looks pretty cool. I like this project. Looks like it's set up to hold like a 6-pack or so on each side. It's got drink holders built in. A cool little machine. Built like a tank. Probably be good, again, for flat ground. Hills, the weight's probably going to affect it, but it's got a nice low center of gravity. That's probably what the whole idea of them is to, you know, safety. Hence the hydraulic brakes and all too. That don't work. Alright guys, I'm going to start babbling. So with that, I'm going to go sign off. And I'm probably going to get back on this tomorrow doing some more wrenching. Get it finished up, and you'll see that sometime in the future. So until then, I will catch you on the next one. Later.